Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new episode. As this episode I feared it may have been, let's say, too short, I decided to, let's say, prepare this very quick live introduction. Having seen already, I would say, having seen and having discussed my strategy to make my nation, let's say, a great air power, I thought that would have been nice before starting any campaign to just give you an overview of the status of my armed forces and in general progress in terms of research, construction and production. So if you start with the most important thing, the focus tree, you may appreciate how I focused a lot on the industrial development of Germany, and especially researching this, focusing on the Nibelungenwerk and the CKD, which in total gave me 9 military factories, which is not bad after all. I also focused a lot on the Panzer Division to unlock a new template, and the Fallschirmjäger, the paratroopers, to, well, you will see in the next videos, right? Yeah, and in terms of, let's say, research, I focused a lot on the radio just because they increased many stats of my frontline battalions. In terms of industry, I researched all the levels 2 of the factories, which allow me to reduce the production cost of my equipment. I'm researching civilian works 3, infrastructure works 3. I researched the large steel mill. That it's always nice to have more resources in your country. As you may have seen already in 1937, I finished researching the synthetic rubber refinery, and I can go later into the construction field, just because I wanted to become really independent in terms of rubber. Infantry-wise, it's almost up to date. I'm willing to research this just to increase the organization of my motorized infantry battalions. That will in turn hopefully increase the organization of my panzer divisions. I am planning to research maybe the desert warfare equipment, just to make some units fit for the North African theater. Support, everything is almost up to date. I want to research the police and maintenance company as well as the logistics company 3, just to reduce the supply consumptions. Tanks, it's quite okay. I'm happy to see that I still have 60% research bonus for the Panzer 3 and Panzer 4. They will go absolutely, they will be researched in no time. And I upgraded the early light vehicles, and I think it's time also to bring them here to research and produce new modern Kübelwagen. I think, yeah, exactly, the Kübelwagen. Artillery, it's all fine. I was planning to build some siege divisions, so I don't know if I will invest in heavy artillery, in the heavy artillery branch. I don't know, everything depends on how will the war go. Mobile warfare doctrine. I decided to go on the tank only, for a reason that I explained in my previous video, but I will focus mainly on having a large infantry army with a few specialized armor divisions, and I want my armor divisions, my panzer divisions, to be say in the best shape possible. Yeah. I skipped completely the navy. Luftwaffe, it's up to date. Nothing to be done. I maybe should research the new quote and support and the new light bomber. Doctrines, I did some research here and I need to invest something more, and we already discussed about it. Let's say construction wise, I did build quite a lot of synthetic rubber refineries. I'm building some steel mills, and I'm also building some more military factories. I was planning to expand a bit my civilians as well. I really don't know if I will do it or not, or I will just exploit the Polish ships just to increase my repair facility and to allow to have more factories with which to build more stuff. I was planning to cover Germany with heavy anti-aircraft positions. I failed to do so. And production-wise, I mean, everything is going fine. As you may have noticed, I did invest in the increase research and increase industry output decisions that for 1 year they gave me 12.5% of research speed and factory output respectively. And I would say that, I mean, I'm quite satisfied with the situation right now. I have a bit of deficit in weapons. I need to go down in terms of I need to produce some more support equipment, a bit of artillery. I have enough pack artillery. I am really lagging behind in terms of tanks, but that's because I'm training a few Panzer divisions as well. I think this should be fine. The number of lorries is fine. I'm producing mechanized equipment because by the end of the year I would like to convert some of my say templates with some mechanized troops. Well, the early war light vehicles and radio equipment, well, they need to be produced in quite high numbers now. Let's say aircraft-wise, I think it's okay. I cannot complain. I have enough planes to replenish my losses. Maybe I will deploy some additional more heavy bombers. Actually, yeah, I can do it right now. And yeah, we can do it right now. Let's see what could I do. I also did some variants, you know, just to okay, heavy bombers. Let's do 2 more and 1 more for gas and 1 more fighters. 2 more fighters. Yeah, I think that should be fine. And yeah, I did some variants just to increase the reliability, the weapons, the engine, and I think a bit of the range of my planes. And in terms of divisions, the canonical infantry division consists now of 10 infantry battalions, 3 medium artillery regiments, battalions, no, companies I think they are, and 1 anti-tank battalion for a total combat with 20. I did expand a bit the border divisions. I removed the police and I added the division headquarters just to give some more organization to these guys, and the engineering company to increase the defense of these units. The Panzer division is at the moment what I'm still playing around with, because I was not sure if I could swap 1 tank battalion for 1 motorized battalion just to see what would happen to increase the organization of those units. I noticed that if I add the mechanized infantry, I can get a slightly higher organization, so it's 32.5 versus 33, so it's not too much. But still, I don't know if I will change the template. For sure not in 1939. And what else? I think. Oh yeah, in terms of army, I have 1. Oh, this is still waiting. Oh right. Anyway, I have 4 24 large infantry armies, and I think this means that I have exactly 96 infantry divisions, from Kleist to command of the Panzer divisions as well as the SS divisions. And actually I saw now that I could do the Totenkopf, the Polizei and the Leibstandarte divisions decisions, and we can do like this. They are quite okay. Could attach them to applies. Yeah, why not? And I think that's all. I also have these 14 low priority infantry divisions that will be, let's say, converted to normal infantry divisions once I have conquered Poland. And I have my army of 7 airborne divisions. I have 3 more in training, and as I said already, you will see very soon why I'm training those airborne divisions. The only limitation is now the number of transfer planes. I'm producing roughly 2 per year. I hope that with new factories the production speed will go higher. And with this introduction, I hope that was all. Yeah. If you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comments below. And please now enjoy the, let's say, the liberation of Poland.
Now, before starting the military campaign to reclaim what was lost, let's say, in the Versailles Treaty, I decided to redeploy General List's First Army along the French border. That was because I feared that the French AI may have done a push into the Saarland region, and if that happened, well, I would have faced many more problems. And while List's First Army was, let's say, completing its redeployment, as you can see already, you may have seen now the green arrows of my troops defending it. I decided to launch Fall Weiß, Case White, and for the first time I employed the reveal intel just to gain a few interesting bonuses against the Polish troops. And despite those bonuses, my troops faced quite a few obstacles in overcoming the Polish defenses. I think that's because, on one hand, on the plus 30% of defense that the AI gains, on the other hand, I think that was because of the tremendous negative modifier, the minus 75% of loss of organization while moving, that my troops are suffering from. And yeah, so I think that was way too fast, but in the opening phases, really my divisions were really slowing down because they just could not carry on the attacks, because they were just too disorganized, basically. Luckily for me, I managed to encircle a bunch of of Polish troops south of Danzig, and as soon as my divisions entered in Warsaw, the Polish campaign was basically over. And with the support of the Soviet, we basically wiped out, as Molotov said, this ugly product of the Versailles Treaty. And as I didn't want to stop the recording immediately and to carry on until the end of 1939, I just decided to focus on recording, streaming the air war. As you can see, the Allies immediately launched I think the biggest air offensive ever. I think not even in 1944, 1945 the Allies had so many planes at the same time flying over Germany, and especially the regions of Eastern Germany was very regions of Eastern and Northern Germany was very contested. I launched my naval bombers in the Channel and in the North Sea, and I decided to launch my 500 long-range strategic bombers over southern England in an attempt to, let's say, try to weaken the British AI. And well, that didn't go too well, because I think that in the first days everything was fine, but then the Royal Air Force, and I guess maybe the French Air Force, put up a stiff resistance of more than 1,200 fighters. And when I saw that my losses were becoming too high and they were just increasing, and basically I did not see any progress in bombing the enemy industry, I just halted the whole operation, because I thought that maybe it made no sense to just bomb the enemy mainland without proper fighter cover. And I focused instead on the other side of the medal, on watching how my air force was gradually eroding the strategic, let's say, air power of my enemies, because by, I think, in September 1939, the Allies had 1,400 heavy bombers, and by the end of November, so in just 3 months, they basically lost at least 300 of them. And I think that this was because of my combination of having 600 normal fighters as well as 200 heavy fighters on intercept mission over Eastern Germany. The Allies tried now to bomb Western Poland, but again I quickly sent some more troops defending there. And I mean, I was really satisfied in seeing those numbers going down. I mean, having lost, I would say now, roughly 400 heavy bombers in just 4 months, I thought, okay, that's a very cool math. I mean, if I can go on for at least 6 more months, maybe I could completely eradicate the enemy heavy bomber wings, and just prepare myself for the counter-strike that will come, of course, inevitably in 1940. I did try to mess up a bit with the I did mess up with the airborne orders, just because I realized I didn't have any transport wings deployed. And yeah, that's all from now. See you all very, very soon.